Hey there, welcome to Area 51 Raceway. So we have our Buick all cleared here, and what I did use was the Rust-Oleum acrylic clear on this, and I didn't want to use a solvent-based one, which would be lacquer, because I want to spray this with the chrome. And this was what is the way to make this anodized. So this is the color here. This is a Quicksilver Chrome Light, and this specifically tells you to use this black paint with this. But the whole idea to get it the chrome look is you need to have this really nice and glossed out, so that way the appearance of it will come out nice. Now this ain't a perfect paint job. One thing with resin or vacuum form bodies, you really have to prep them well. I didn't really sand this good enough, and as you can see right here, little pieces are chipping off because I didn't sand that well, and that's going to happen. But you know what, there's a fix for that. I don't look at it as a disadvantage. You can see there's some here, and then on the back here, the spoiler and the bumper. There's a way to alleviate this, and I'm gonna, there's a way to hide things if you need to hide it, especially around these edges, which I'm not concerned with, because what I could do is just chrome those out with my marker, my C-fly marker, and that'll really kind of cover that up. But again, we'll go, let's go one step at a time. So we're gonna go to the booth and spray this, and I'm going to explain how this is sprayed, and I'm not going to use a lot of pressure with this, and this is going to be extremely lightly applied. If you go heavy with this, you're just going to ruin the whole look of it. So you have to do it super light, and you'll see what I do when we get to the booth. So let's head on over to the booth there. All right, here we are. We're at the booth. We have the car ready to go, and we have our paint ready to go. Again, this is supposed to be really lightly mixed on there. I mean super light. I have to test my gun to make sure it's on a real light spray. And there we go. So here we go. So again, really light coats. So we're going to stand far back from this too, and just sweep it nicely. I'm going to do just that. That looks pretty light there, a little flash dry. Again, it's a super light coat. You can't see too much of it, but it is what we need it to be at, and that's where we want it. So we'll let it dry. I don't know if you could tell, you could see that it is getting on there, and it really doesn't take much, so you want to do it really lightly. So wait 10 minutes and come back. There we go. So about 10 minutes, so we're going to have another spray real quick. We'll get a little bit heavy-handed, not too much. You can see it's starting to turn to a chromey color now. I always say chromey. And there you go. I'm going to leave it right there, and we'll let it dry for another 10 minutes. Alright, here we're back. We're going to spray it again. You can see it is turning kind of chromish, so we'll hit another coat on it. And a little bit more. We'll stop there. Oh, starting to get there. Get a little bit down here actually. We won't stop there. There we go. There's Hey, here we're back, and we're gonna hit it and spray it again. So we'll get another coat on there. That looks pretty good. Like that. Go a little slower sweeps. I'm just trying to make sure I got everything covered. And here you go. It's getting a little chrome there, isn't it? A little flash dry here. There you go, right there. Well, again, I'll wait 10 minutes. They say usually 4 coats should be enough, and I'm going to do another one, a 5th coat, and we'll see how that goes. Be right back again. Okay, one last coat here. We're going to hit it. That doesn't look too bad now. I think we're going to go with that. So that's it, folks. There you go. Gives you the chrome look there. And that's the beginnings of anodized color there. I think we'll be fine there, and we'll check it out outside in the sun, and then we'll come back and put our color on it. And so here it looks out in the sun. And that's what we're trying to achieve there. That's good enough. I'm not going to go any more than that. That'll pretty much get us where we should need to be. You can see, and this will get more chrome, for what I understand, when, or more anodized when we spray the candy as it sits. So that's what it looks like. So that's what you're trying to get. Just thought I'd show you that, and now we'll go get the candy and spray. Okay, we're back ready to apply the black candy. Black candy is going to go on lightly because I've never really done this before, so here we go. Nice light strokes. Alright, we'll let that sit. Give it 10 minutes. That's already turning black. You can see that. I don't know if you can see that, how it's changing. It's kind of hard to see it under this kind of light. You'd have to see it under actual sunlight. But that's what you're getting the anodized effect from. And that's turning anodized, as you can see. And I'm going to do something different, and I'll show you when I'm finished with this part of it. Little throwing people off here. I said I was going to do it all black. You're going to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to try something. Now here's what I should have done. I should have stopped shooting paint at this point. Instead, I screwed up right here. And what I screwed up on, so nobody else will do it, is that I kept adding the candy black. Now as I kept adding the candy black, it splotched the top of the roof and turned it to actually a dark color, so where you don't see the chromish like or anodized look. So just be aware, it only takes really light coats. And again, this is where you have, you know, kind of like a disappointment, but you also have to figure a way to come out of the disappointment and see the glass half full. So we're back at the bench, so it didn't exactly work out the way I wanted to.
Stop
I
whining.
oversprayed on the black, and I went too far, as you could see on the last video, last part of the video. But actually, this has come out to my advantage. It's come out like a trippy looking color, kind of like a burnt, I don't know, burnt bluish, brownish black. So, it's one of these things. You experiment. It does look pretty good. Now I'm going to do something to this. Add something else to it. I'll see what it looks like when we get back here. I'm going to go real quick and use my small airbrush, because since that's such thin paint, I only need a light coat of whatever I need in there, so it should be no issue. But we're going to go ahead and do a little experiment, and we'll be right back.
My advice to you is to start drinking heavily.
Alright, here we are back at the bench. So I went ahead and detailed this with numbers and put my own little touch to it for the theme of our track, and this turned out to be a win. I thought I was gonna lose when I oversprayed the candy black, and then it kind of splotched the top roof. So you know what, I really just figured, I was gonna paint half of it blue and half of it black, but instead I went ahead and shot the Marina blue candy over it, and that's the end result I got out of it, was that kind of hue. Now what I did also was I got the gold, Wicked Gold, and speckled it on there, and kind of to give it a little a little pop, I would say, since the numbers are gold, and the Area 51 thing is gold, and the alien head as well. And it actually turned out to be a win. You can see it's got a pretty good color to it. Actually, it's kind of like a cobalt blue, I guess, kind of in and out with a purple. It's a really trippy color that I just kind of made up on my own just by accident. I was like, oh, hell with it, what else do I have to lose? And then I just decided to do the speckled gold part since the decals are gold, and then I cleared it with acrylic to protect the decals from curling up, and then let the acrylic dry, and then I shot it with lacquer, and it actually held up pretty good. I did light coats of lacquer, and then the last one was heavy, and this is what it looks like, and it came out pretty good. I was kind of surprised. I was hoping the lacquer didn't like burn up the decals, because they do tend to curl them up, but it seems like the acrylic seemed to help keep that from happening, at least to a certain effect, it looks like. But it actually came out pretty good, and it looks even better in the sun. In the sun, it looks fantastic. You can see as I can move it around, you see all the gold fleck and the kind of the bluish tone to it, and then the dark, kind of dark color of it, like the black candy, and kind of like a purple. But I'm really happy how that came out. I'm not disappointed. I was disappointed I had oversprayed it on the candy black on the roof, because you could tell I oversprayed it. It was just too dark, and that's the thing with throwing a candy on. You're supposed to do a light coat, and it was coming out like an anodized like we had planned, but then it kind of went too much on the roof, and I was like, oh, this ain't gonna look good if I if I try and clear this. So I went ahead and shot the Marina blue, like I said, candy, and kind of just darkened it, and it actually came out really good. Like I said, I'm pretty surprised. And then I add a little gold speckle to it, so it's kind of like a little cool little motif color. But again, this is the things that happen when you experiment with paint. I mean, I ended up experimenting and got something actually worked pretty good. I like the car. I think it looks pretty good. Let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, maybe you don't like this color, but I'm pretty much very happy with it. So it's one of those things when you paint, you just discover your own way of things, to doing stuff by accident, or this wasn't on purpose. So but it worked out, and that's it from Area 51 Raceway, from this Buick. I will build a chassis for this. I'm going to build a wire chassis for it, a piano wire chassis, not a brass one. So I'm going to experiment with this and do some other things I won't say, so we'll see what happens. So again, that's it from Area 51 Raceway. It's always you take care, and always have fun racing.